This is coffee number 5. I'm your host, Lara. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to coffee number 5. And I'm sure you're wondering what we're going to be talking about today, because I always have such an amazing guest and interesting topics and unique topics. And that it's basically what interests me. And I'm so happy and humbled that interests you as well. And you became a listener of coffee number 5. I wanted to introduce you today to Wayne Liu. How are you, Wayne? Welcome.
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
You are incredible. I met you a while ago and I was so impressed. I mean, I hear you talk here and there, and I wanted to have you here because you have to be here. You are the CEO of the Perfect Corp. The Perfect Corp is beauty tech, and you're the first one in this space. And I really want to understand, how did you come up with this revolutionary idea? But not only that, then from going from the idea to implementation when nobody else was doing it.
Yeah, so first of all, I am very happy to talk about the journey of a beauty tech because we are actually getting the intersection of beauty and technology. So 10 years ago, we merged these two together, and then right now it's merged these two perfectly together. That's just like our company.
Yes.
So actually, everything starts from I would say just it's an idea because. Me and my which is the CEO Alice Chen, who always she's in Taiwan, so that's why we work together actually in our private company, previous company. We work together as a company called Cyberlink. So Cyberlink is basically a software company doing the software for the PC. But at that time, like a PC is sort of like a stop growing, which so that's why it's about 10 years ago. So we have some ideas. We have a tons of technology, especially on color and the video processing, photo processing. How can we apply all this technology and make it fun? Okay, so then we start doing the brainstorming, all kinds of things. First thing is people are using a mobile phone. They are
Mm-hmm.
using mobile phone, but the most common application they are using in the mobile phone is a camera. Okay, and then actually pretty significant of this female, they are using camera as a mirror, right? So that's how every
I mean, you can say that I did this before. As soon as we came into the meeting, I realized
yes.
my lipstick.
Okay, so that's why innovation usually start from this kind of brainstorming. Okay, we want to get into this the most frequent used features, which is the camera mirror. When people see this as a mirror, we want them to see them more like beautiful and fun. So that's why apply our technology, like especially in the color, photo processing, and then start doing this virtual color. Okay, so you can actually we are solving problem because female one of the most challenging thing is putting makeup and then taking it out, putting makeup. So that's why we are using technology to help to solve this problem. In the meantime, it's fun.
And
So yeah,
it's so challenging to know that you don't know how makeup is going to look on you. And
yes, absolutely,
to resolve a problem and saying, and because it's not only about putting the makeup, it's learning how to put the makeup. It's not
yes,
something
yeah.
that it comes with us. Applying makeup is difficult. So even if you're going to try something that doesn't look good on you, you're going to feel horrible about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also from brand and retailer perspective, it's a because the more you try, the more you buy. However, the thing is, if you create a friction of trying, like every time you need to put on your faces and wipe it out, and for many different reasons, including like a hygiene reason, like you don't want to get into other people's this kind of tester. So that's why we are sort of solving the problem from both the consumer and the brand side because we reduce the fraction of trying new thing. So you can now put into a green lipstick to see how it looks. But usually you won't do that. But right now with virtual technology, you can definitely do that. That's how it started. Yeah. So 10 years ago.
I have a
Yeah.
question for you. So then who is your consumer? Who is your client? It's anyone can go out there and use, because one thing is for you, okay, I created this technology, but then was to understand who is my client here. So who is
Yeah.
your client?
So we are not only innovated on the technology, but we also is very innovative on the business model. So
Mhm.
our company, we actually has two sides of business. One is a B2C and another one is B2B. So actually we start with the B2C. We create an app Right now it's a multiple app. It's just not one, but it's a UCam family. Why UCam CAM like a camera. So we have the app. When we started, the app is just organic growth. So we see the download like 100,000, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. So people just love it. They start doing that. So that consider our B2C customer. However, previously we don't really charge them. It's a free app. But now, actually, with a lot of AI features, there's a premium. It's still free, but if they don't want to access some premium content, they can definitely do that by paying the subscription fee. So that's one form of business, which is a B2C. Another one is B2B. So that's pretty much, I would say, the similar technology like a virtual try-on or the skin analyzer. We put in our app, we can actually license to the brand. We currently work with more than 700 brand, just the world renewal brand like Estee Lauder company, like all these LVMH brand, even the luxury brand like Chanel, all the way to the mass retailer like a Walmart. So they license our technology. You may not know that's ours, but if you go to Walmart's website and then see, okay, so if you want to try elf lipsticks, okay, so you can just click the website and try it. And then if you go to Chanel's website, you want to try something. As I said, not only just makeup, but we actually get into Chanel's fashion, like a watch or something. You can try it virtually. It's powered by us. So technically, our customer is both a brand and the consumer. We are using different business model to get into these two.
And now you mentioned something very interesting, that you are also working to fashion and accessories.
Yes, yes.
How
So
how difficult was to move from the technology that it goes only from your face to do accessories that it gets you in different part of the body and with different body types?
it's a great question because there really pose a technology challenge. First is in our cases we start with the faces, right? So everything on the faces. Of course, there's some also like probably have a pretty significant amount of the accessories on your faces, like an earring and eyewear. So that one is fine. However, if we go into some other body part like you try to try watches or wrist, that's a new technology. So that's why like a traditional virtual try-on doesn't work. We have a we have another set of technology called the physical based rendering (PBR), which will try to simulate the movement of the object with a lighting, so like a light tracing. So not without getting too technical, but basically that's how it works. Okay, so we are using yeah, and then also we are using some innovative technology and then also AI to recreate the 3D models. Okay, so like we call the authoring. That's how we get
So,
into that.
okay, so if, for example, I want to work with you as a brand, you need to recreate each one of my products as a rendering to be able to put it in the technology, or this is works with a photo.
Yes, so there are different level of engagement. For example, if you just have a quick solution, okay? So usually we do a 2D to 3D. So basically you just give us photos. We can recreate this the 3D model for you. It's of course because it's from 2D to 3D, so it's great. However, it's not as I would say precise accurate as a real 3D model. Some of these luxury brand, like a really luxury brand, they really care about all the detail, reflection, material. So in that case, we pretty much recreate. We need to create the 3D model from their some of their 3D files. So that's why we start to rendering.
So I'm thinking, like, for example, in a case of shoes, how would you do that? Because you need to point your camera in the bottom of your feet. It's not in front of your camera on the face. So how do you work with another body parts?
Yeah. So for the shoes, it's again that's a different story because of we technically, we don't have a shoes solution. Before we acquire a company called Wana, we acquired Wana like 1 month ago. So that one is really the company Wana is a leader in this virtual trial on fashion, especially on shoes. So of course, like our virtual try-on technology, it doesn't apply to the shoes. So that's why we acquire Wana. So that Wana's technology sort of like compensate what we have. So now from face, actually we have hair, from hair to toe. Okay, so they have their unique technology to do the virtual try-on for shoes. So
But
that's why,
so
yeah.
okay, this is mind blowing because how do you do it? In stores, probably you can have a big mirror and you can do it and you can see full
Yeah,
body.
just like it's a mobile app, right? So it's just like you have a mobile phone. You can just place the mobile phone in front of your food, and then the virtual try on show up on top of your.
I know, but how can you see it if you put it? Do you get a picture of it or how you see it? Because if you
No,
lower
it's a real time. So it's pretty much like you are using a front facing camera to
huh?
point to your shoes, and then you are actually from the first person angle. You look at the camera. It's just like you are taking a photo of your shoes.
I see. So okay,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah. So it's a similar. It's just like you are. For example, you just take a photo on top of your own shoes or food. Okay, and then on top of that, we just change it into the whatever shoes you want to try. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, what did you find as a more challenging of creating all these applications? What was the thing that you say, "Oh, are we gonna pull this off? Are we gonna be able to do it?"
Yeah, so actually different activation, different product has a different challenge. For example, let's talk about our original, like the color. Okay, so makeup color. The first thing is you have to be true, okay, true to real. Otherwise, if you just like a sticker, right? So it become a more like a fun tool. It's not really a useful tool for the brand can use it. So that's why first thing is like years ago we are trying to overcome the color. The color is not just a color because the first thing is a color. If you put the same makeup, the lipstick on different people, because
Exactly.
your native tone, yeah. So the final finish actually is different. So that's why we have our patent technology called color blending. We understand your skin tone, lips, and then we blind with the color. And also we think about the reflection, okay, different finish. Like sometimes you can get metallica, you can get matte. So that's why we are playing around the magic of technology to reflect the different color, the texture. So that's how we start to conquer all this challenge and then become a real. So when the brand see this final finish, yeah, so they say, wow, that's real. It's not just a sticker, it's a real.
Did you have to work with real life models with different tones in order to get accurate in the?
Yeah, so that's one of the things which we are really proud of. Yes, we did. We in our cases, actually that's AI, that's machine learning. We can understand through all this machine learning with all this working with a brand and with a customer, we actually can understand 89,000 different skin tone. 89,000. Okay, it pretty much
Wow.
get the entire spectrum of the color, the skin tone. So that's why let's say talk about inclusivity, right? So can you create 89,000 different color for your customer? Probably you don't. But the thing is, yes, we can
Did you
identify.
ever think
So
that you're
that's
gonna?
why,
Did you at the
yeah.
beginning? Did you think that there are gonna be so many colors?
No, it's just gradually. It's impossible to develop so many. I mean the skin tone to understand. So that's why gradually we work with the customer. Some of the customer they don't really they don't have this wide range. They only cover a certain part of the spectrum. But some of the customer, like Mac, they really have a lot of color. So that's why we need to sort of like working with them. That's how working with the customer, try to understand their need, try to solve their problem. Actually, in the meantime, enhance our technology. So in the past 10 years, that's how we getting to like every time we have a challenge, we find a solution and we get it ourselves into the another level.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question because this, I mean, you guys were pioneers working with AI technology. So what do you think is next? Because AI in the last 2 years, they've been booming. Do you think that now it's going
Yeah,
to slow down or we're going to be able to see new things that you are like really impressive?
I yeah. So actually, we've been using AI from day one because you have to understand like a face, right? The location, right location. So that's why we have a extensive understanding of AI. From always, I said it's a classic AI, supervised learning. That's why we learn all the skin, skin tone, skin condition, and then there's a machine learning. So supervised. To now, it's a non-supervised, which you usually call it generative AI. From my perspective, or from the customer we've been working with, the industry. I think this process is not reversible. So now it's not like asking, will the AI fading or will AI stop or pause? I don't think it will. So the question,
How are you challenging AI to take it to the next level?
so that's why I said the question is, should I use? The question is not should I use AI. The question is, how should I use AI?
Exactly.
Okay, so
No, it's
so
not a
that's why
question anymore. People need to use AI. AI became part
yes,
of our life.
couple of things for using AI is I think first thing is you have to have some kind of understanding of AI. We know it's just going too fast, but the thing is, knowledge is really the key. If you
Yes.
have no idea about AI, even the simple AI, you don't even know what generative AI is different from like a machine learning, the classic AI. I think that would be very difficult in a creative field. Okay, because you don't know. Everything you don't know, you have uncertainty. That's why you get a little bit feel. So once you get a little bit comfortable about AI, get some knowledge, I think that's really the thing. And then you need to have a motivation to turn this AI knowledge into the skill. What do
Hmm.
I mean by that? Motivation pretty much from like us, from a technology provider's perspective, is really to solve problem. We are not using AI to create more problem. We are using AI to solve the problem. So just in our cases, like AI skin analysis, right? So we are using AI to understand your skin in 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, which we empower the customer. It can be the medical service provider. It can be a brand. So we help to understand your customer, and your customer understand their skin. So that's how we using AI to solve problem. So that's why you need to have you have knowledge. You have to have a motivation. Yeah, and
How
then yeah.
accurate is this medically?
Okay, that's question whether that's one of the challenges. It was a challenge, but now it's not. So because we've been asked
Got it.
many times on this, how accurate is your skin analysis? So okay, then we decide let's do this because everything is a scientific base.
Hmm.
So we work with the university, very fair third party. So we start establish this research project with the university. So for example, actually, if you are interested, we send you some of this paper. We work with Dr. Steve Feldman, who is a professor and also a board certified dermatologist of Wake Forest University. So we've been working with him like 4 years ago. So he conduct a very thorough the research on our product. So basically, that's a simple way to put it: is using AI to diagnose one customer, one client, and using a professional tool which they've been using for years in their industry, diagnose the same customer, same condition, and then have a panel of a doctor, the physician, to do a general assessment. Now we have three. We have an AI, which is us. They have the devices they've been using. They have a doctor. So he compared these three, of course, using a statistic and all kind of thing, and come back with a result, very fair result to see, are you accurate? Are you consistent compared to this? Yes, the answer is yes. So that's why he has he published paper on the medical journal. Okay, so that's a peer reviewed journal. So this means, okay, then you're accurate. Then next is and then he start using our tool to analyze the different condition. And then one thing which people ask about, beside the accurate, next is your AI bias? Okay, so then he conduct another research. He just published it in the one of this medical journal early last year. Okay, so early last year March. So they use a Fitzpatrick to understand 6 different type of skin, and then same thing using ours, using machine, and using doctor, and compare. Actually, our score is higher than the current machine. And then sometimes, because he check a different category, some of the category actually AI is the less biased than the doctor. So that's why he's very excited with all this data. He published a paper.
What you're saying is basically that now we can use technology as a partner for doctors.
Of course, yeah. So it's not. It's people has been using it now. Okay, so we have in our website we have lots of case study. Actually, doctor, dermatologist, plastic surgeon, they are using our tool. So for kind of like some of them, one of our early partner, Dr. Park, Eunice Park, she been using for almost 3 years in her practice.
And how do they feel how a physician will use these tools? They will help them to be more accurate. They help them to optimize time. Why a physician will use this
Yeah,
technology?
so different like an individual using different way, but in general they're using a couple of things. First is help them to do an early diagnostic. Okay, because when the patient come in, right now this we short of people in the medical like service healthcare. People know that, so that's why instead of has probably a front desk or nurses to ask some question, we are using AI like a 5 second. We have a thorough understanding of a skin. Okay, so like a 14 conditions, we have a different. We are using numbers, numerical numbers, and then the doctor can when doctor it's about time to see the patient is pretty much save their time to do the consultation because it's just like check like
Yeah, it's
X-ray.
when you go like to the eye doctor and you get an
Yes, yes, yeah, yes.
your
Of course,
prescription.
that's the one thing. That's the one thing, and then also the second thing is it gives more confidence for the patient because when patients step into the doctor's office, usually they are vulnerable because they don't know what happened. Okay, so by understanding like visually overlapping their faces, their own faces, not model, their own faces with the skin, with a different we're using color coded, like a different color coded to highlight your skin condition, and then numerically measure your skin condition. You pretty much understand. Okay, now I have a thorough understanding like my skin, and then that's easier for doctor to start to have a conversation, and also because some of them using this simulation function.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's like through tons of the learning, the data. So we do simulation. Okay, so what if you do this treatment, your condition will become like that. So this kind of a conversation is really help. Sort of empower the medical service provider and also empower the customer, the client. Okay, and then from brand. Okay, so from the brand perspective, some of this brand they are using this one to do product recommendation because we have an algorithm to sort of like matching the condition with the product. Okay, so that's why you can do a knowledge transfer. You may not have a very experienced staff, but because the knowledge already being installed in the app, so that's why you can do a very good recommendation.
About off the counter solutions.
Yeah.
So so this would not be for a derm. They cannot use it for prescription.
No, no, we are not getting to that. We are not getting to the so-called like FDA approval kind of thing. Okay, so we are not really doing any like a treatment. But for the brand, they can recommend their product, but not really like from the doctor. They are recommend the treatment. Okay, because the treatment is a pretty sensitive word on the medical term. Not yet. Okay, so potentially maybe not now. We are pretty much focus what we've been doing now, not getting to like a FDA type
Yeah.
of
Do you
business.
think that in the future this is something that you see possible using this technology?
Yes, definitely, and then also like a drug discovery, and then also like a diagnose like a disease. It's some of not our company, but some other companies doing that with the AI. So especially on the drug discovery, that's a very popular application of AI.
Yeah, but how risky is this for people to self-diagnose with issues?
You mean?
Is this a concern that people can use this application and then self-diagnose with problems?
Well, it really depends on like previously I talked about knowledge and motivation, and the last part is really the organization support. What I mean by that is, of course, we have a technology for you to do self-diagnostic, but the thing is how you're going to use it. Okay, so what are you going to allow your customer to do is and then start to get a prescription drug? No, of course, it's not the cases. But if you want to have your customer or your client or patient like doing the following. Okay, so one of the thing actually when we talk to the doctor, one of the problem they have is a customer disappear. Their patients, they go after one treatment, they disappear because they probably come to this location or something is too difficult or too challenging. They don't have a time to. So that's why if you can do like a remote diagnostic, try to follow. Okay, so monitor following the patient's progress. I guess that's a good way to do it. However, it's like okay, using this self-diagnostic and then start to figure out your own problem and then get the prescription. I guess it's not within the current framework.
Oh, Wayne, thank you so much. This was incredible. A lot of knowledge. Thank you. I'm fascinated with all this technology and where it's going to take us and the possibilities that we see in the future.
Yeah, of course. And then I believe it's just a beginning. And then, with a good, I would say the control harness of AI will generate more benefit for us. Yes,
I
absolutely.
agree with you 100%. Well, thank you again for having coffee with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
To you guys, I see you next week with more coffee number 5. Find everything you need at larashmoisman.com or in the episode notes right below. Don't forget to subscribe. It was so good to have you here today. See you next time. Catch you on the flip side. Ciao, ciao.